Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with one of the most powerful lessons I ever learned. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Now, why do I say that? Because your job will make you a living, but working on yourself will make you a fortune. Your job pays the bills, but your personal growth creates the future, and that's a far bigger paycheck. See, most people get this equation wrong. They spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week pouring themselves into their work, but almost no time improving themselves. They wait for promotions, for raises, for opportunities, as if the company is supposed to write their future. But here's the truth. You write your future. Your future doesn't change until you change. If you want to have more, you must first become more. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for a lighter load. Build stronger shoulders. Think about it. If your income rarely exceeds your personal development, then isn't it obvious where the real work needs to be done? Your income can't outgrow you. But if you expand your mind, your skills, your discipline, your vision, then opportunity will chase you down. Now let me give you some areas where you must work harder on yourself. Work on your mind. Feed it ideas, wisdom, and inspiration. Most people spend more time on their phones than on their own growth. Read the books. Listen to the audios. Attend the seminars. One idea, well applied, can change the next 10 years of your life. Work on your skills. Life pays for value. And the more valuable you become, the more the marketplace rewards you. Ask yourself, what new skills can I acquire this year that will make me indispensable? Work on your habits. Your daily disciplines shape your destiny. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And failure, just a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. Choose your habits wisely. Work on your attitude. How you see life, how you see problems, how you see yourself. It all matters. Your attitude is the magnet that draws either opportunities or obstacles. Work on your character. Success without integrity is empty. Become the kind of person people can trust, because trust is the highest form of currency in business and in life. So yes, work hard on your job, do the best you can, be excellent at it, but remember, your job is not the end game. You are the end game. If you grow, your job grows. If you get better, everything gets better. At the end of the day, the secret is this. Don't wait for circumstances to improve. Improve yourself, and your circumstances will follow. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, ask yourself, am I working harder on myself than I am on my job? Because if the answer is yes, then your future is already getting brighter. Ladies and gentlemen, invest in yourself, and you will never regret the dividends. Your job will make you a living, but working on yourself will make you a fortune. That single idea, when deeply understood, can completely transform the way you approach life, work, and success. Most people spend the majority of their time and energy on their jobs, chasing deadlines, following orders, doing just enough to survive, and then wonder why life never seems to expand beyond their paycheck. The truth is, your job is designed to give you a salary, but your personal growth is what creates wealth, fulfillment, and real freedom. When you clock in at work, you are renting out your time. You exchange hours for dollars, effort for income. That's the transaction. But when you invest in yourself, when you sharpen your mind, develop your skills, and raise your value, you are not just exchanging time for money. You are building a foundation that pays dividends for the rest of your life. A job gives you wages today, but self-improvement ensures you are worth more tomorrow. That's why working harder on yourself than you do on your job is the ultimate strategy for long-term success. Think of it this way. Two people might hold the same job, working the same hours in the same company. One person is constantly learning, reading, attending seminars, listening to mentors, and stretching their thinking. The other is simply getting through the day, doing only what is required. A year later, the first person has become more valuable, more skilled, more confident, and as a result, they attract more opportunities, maybe even a promotion or a brand new venture. The second person, they're still in the same place, doing the same work, for the same pay. The difference between the two has nothing to do with luck, and everything to do with how much effort they put into working on themselves. Your personal growth compounds just like money in the bank. Every book you read, every skill you acquire, every new discipline you practice, every conversation with someone wiser than you, these are deposits into your personal growth account. Over time, the interest builds and the returns become extraordinary. Suddenly, people look at you as someone of influence, someone who brings more value than the average. The marketplace rewards value, and the more you have, the greater your fortune becomes. But fortune isn't just about money. Working harder on yourself than you do on your job enriches every part of life. When you grow as a person, your relationships improve because you develop empathy, patience, and understanding. Your health improves because you learn to discipline your habits and take care of your body. Your outlook improves because you train your mind to focus on possibilities instead of problems. And yes, your career improves because people are drawn to those who are constantly evolving. The problem is, too many people get trapped in the idea that their job is the ultimate source of security. They cling to it as though it's their lifeline. But here's the truth. Your security does not come from your job. It comes from your ability to create value. Jobs can be lost. Industries can collapse. Economies can shift. But if you've invested in yourself, if you've built skills, cultivated wisdom, and strengthened your character, then you can always create new opportunities. You can always rise again, no matter what changes around you. So the question is simple. Are you giving the best of your energy to your job or to your growth? If you spend more time scrolling through distractions than studying your craft, more time complaining than learning, more time surviving than improving, then you're working harder on your job than on yourself. Flip the equation. Wake up an hour earlier to read. Spend your commute listening to something that feeds your mind instead of drains it. Set aside time every week to reflect, plan, and build new habits. Because every minute you put into yourself makes you more valuable, more capable, and more prepared for the opportunities that will surely come. Your job is important. It's necessary. But it is not the limit of your life. Treat your job as a stepping stone, a platform to practice excellence, but never confuse it with your ultimate destiny. Your destiny is shaped by who you become. And when you work harder on yourself, when you make growth your priority, you stop living only for a paycheck and start building a fortune of skills, wisdom, character, and possibilities that no company, no economy, and no crisis can ever take away. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. That principle may sound simple, but it carries within it one of the greatest truths about success and achievement. Money, opportunities, influence, and recognition all flow to the person you become. If you want to earn more, have more, and do more, the very first requirement is that you must become more. The marketplace rewards value, and the only way to increase your value is through personal development. Think of your income as a reflection in the mirror. It doesn't show you what you want. It shows you what you are. If you look in the mirror and don't like the reflection, you don't smash the mirror. You change yourself. That's how income works. If you want to see different numbers on your paycheck, you have to grow into the kind of person who deserves those numbers. It's not luck, it's not chance. It's a direct reflection of who you have become in the marketplace. This is why some people can make 10 times more money than others, even working the same number of hours. It's not that life is unfair. It's that the person earning more has developed skills, qualities, and disciplines that make them 10 times more valuable. They've invested in learning and communication and leadership and creative problem solving. They've cultivated discipline, perseverance, and a positive attitude. Those qualities separate them from the average, and the marketplace recognizes it by rewarding them accordingly. Here's the trap. Many people fall into they hope their income will go up without raising their level of personal development. They think a raise, a promotion, or a new job will suddenly solve their financial challenges. But if you take the same person with the same skills, same mindset, same level of personal growth, and put them in a new environment, it doesn't take long for the results to level back down to who they are. You can't out-earn the person you've become. Now, this is not bad news. It's the best news you'll ever hear, because it means you hold the key. If your income rarely exceeds your level of development, then all you need to do is work on yourself and your income will follow. Instead of wishing for the economy to change, for your company to change, or for your boss to notice you, focus on becoming so valuable that you cannot be ignored. Focus on being the kind of person who creates opportunities instead of waiting for them. Let me give you an example. Imagine two salespeople. Both work in the same office, with the same product, the same training, and the same number of hours. One earns a modest salary, the other earns triple. What's the difference? It's not the company, not the product, not the hours. It's the level of personal development. The top earner invested in learning how to connect with people, how to tell compelling stories, how to handle objections with confidence. They read books on persuasion, studied body language, and practiced every day. The other salesperson did only what was required. Same job, different income. Why? Because one person invested in becoming more valuable than the other. When you truly accept this principle, you stop blaming circumstances. You stop blaming luck. You stop waiting for someone else to open the door for you. Instead, you realize that the ceiling above you is not the company or the job, it's your current level of growth. And the beautiful part, you can always grow more. You can always raise your ceiling. So make a commitment. Never let a year go by where your income grows but you don't. And more importantly, never let a year go by where your income stays the same because you stayed the same. Read the books, take the courses, build the habits, learn the skills, invest in becoming more valuable to the marketplace, to your family, to your community, and to yourself. If your income rarely exceeds your personal development, then your personal development is the most profitable investment you will ever make. Because when you grow, your opportunities grow, your influence grows, and eventually your income grows to match. The outside world cannot rise above the inside world. Make sure the inside world is always expanding, and the rewards will follow. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. That simple shift in mindset is what separates the average from the extraordinary, the complainer from the achiever. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and difficulties. Some people spend all their energy wishing those problems would disappear, hoping for lighter loads, smoother paths, and easier breaks. But life doesn't get easier. It demands that you rise to the occasion. The only sustainable path to success is to become stronger, wiser, and more capable than the problems you face. When you wish life were easier, you put your power outside yourself. You hope circumstances will bend in your favor. But circumstances don't change on their own. And if they do, they often change in ways you can't control. But when you wish to be better, you reclaim your power. You recognize that you can grow stronger than any challenge, smarter than any obstacle, more resilient than any storm. Problems don't shrink. You expand until they no longer hold you back. Think about the challenges you've already faced in life. The things that once seemed impossible, unbearable, or overwhelming. Somehow you overcame them. Maybe you didn't know how at the time, but you learned, adapted, and grew through the process. Looking back, those problems now seem smaller, not because they changed, but because you changed. You became more capable. That is the lesson. Don't expect life to reduce the weight. Expect to build the strength to carry it. This mindset applies to every area of life. In business, don't wish for fewer competitors. Develop the skills to outshine them. In health, don't wish your body would magically transform. Build the habits that reshape it. In relationships, don't wish others were easier to deal with. Cultivate patience, empathy, and communication so you can navigate challenges with grace. The world does not get simpler, but you can always get sharper. The truth is, wishing for easier conditions is a form of escape. It avoids responsibility. It suggests the problem is out there rather than in here. But wishing to be better is a form of ownership. It acknowledges that the only true change begins with you, and that's empowering. Because you can't control the weather, but you can learn how to sail. You can't control the economy, but you can control your financial habits. You can't control every circumstance, but you can control how you respond. That is where strength is built. One of the greatest rewards of wishing to be better is that it transforms adversity into opportunity. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every obstacle becomes training. Every difficulty becomes a chance to build muscles you didn't know you had. Instead of asking, why me, you start asking, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? That single shift takes you from victim to victor, from being controlled by life to taking command of it. Imagine two people facing the same hardship. One spends their time complaining, blaming, and waiting for someone to rescue them. The other rolls up their sleeves and asks, what skills do I need to handle this? How can I grow through this challenge? A year later, the first person is still stuck, while the second has become stronger, wiser, and further along their journey. The hardship was the same. The response was different. So the next time you're tempted to wish that life would be easier, catch yourself. Replace that wish with a new one. I wish to be better. I wish to be stronger. I wish to be more prepared. This mindset doesn't just help you overcome the present, it prepares you for the future. Because as you grow, you'll be able to face bigger challenges, seize bigger opportunities, and create bigger results. Don't waste energy hoping the mountain will shrink. Build the strength to climb it. Don't pray for calm seas. Become the sailor who can navigate the storm. Life doesn't get easier, but you can get better. And when you do, life will reward you not by removing the obstacles, but by revealing that you are greater than anything standing in your way. Focus on skills, habits, and attitude, because these three areas are the true foundation of success. They are the hidden drivers that shape your results more than talent, luck, or circumstances ever could. Skills determine what you can do. Habits determine what you consistently do. Attitude determines how you see, interpret, and respond to the world around you. When you master these three, you place yourself in the top tier of performers. Not because life is easier for you, but because you've built the tools to thrive regardless of what comes your way. Let's start with skills. The marketplace pays for value, and value is tied directly to the skills you possess. If your skills are average, your rewards will be average. If your skills are exceptional, your rewards will rise accordingly. Skills are leverage. They allow you to produce more results with less time and less struggle. And the good news is skills can be learned, sharpened, and multiplied. Every time you dedicate yourself to acquiring a new skill, whether it's communication, leadership, sales, writing, or problem solving, you are increasing your value. The world cannot ignore someone who continuously develops new capabilities. It's like stacking tools in your toolbox. The more tools you have, the more problems you can solve, and the more indispensable you become. But skills alone are not enough. You can be highly skilled, but ineffective if your habits don't align with your goals. Habits are the small decisions you make every day, repeated until they form a pattern. They can work for you or against you. Success is rarely about one big action. It's about consistent actions that compound over time. Reading a few pages of a good book every day might not seem like much, but over a year, it transforms your mind. Saving a little money every week might feel insignificant, but over time, it creates financial security. Waking up early to exercise may be tough at first, but repeated daily, it strengthens your health and discipline. On the other hand, negative habits, procrastination, distraction, poor time management, slowly rob you of progress, often without you realizing it. Your habits either make you or break you, which is why working harder on them than on your job is so crucial. Now let's talk about attitude. Attitude is the lens through which you view life. Two people can face the same situation. One sees opportunity, the other sees defeat. The difference isn't the situation, it's the attitude. Your attitude determines whether you persevere through difficulties or give up when things get tough. It dictates whether people enjoy working with you or avoid you. It influences whether you attract opportunities or repel them. A positive, resilient, and proactive attitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how others respond to you, and it often opens doors that skills and effort alone cannot. When skills, habits, and attitude align, success becomes inevitable. A skilled person with poor habits will waste their potential. A disciplined person without skills will hit a ceiling. A talented person with a negative attitude will limit their influence. But when you combine skill with disciplined habits and a winning attitude, you create a powerful synergy. You become the kind of person who can handle responsibility, lead others, and seize opportunities as they arise. The best part is that all three are within your control. You can decide to learn a new skill, to practice it until it becomes second nature. You can decide to replace one unproductive habit with a positive one day by day. You can decide to shift your attitude from complaints to gratitude, from fear to courage, from doubt to belief. These choices, repeated over time, create a version of yourself that is more capable, more reliable, and more magnetic than before. So don't wait for circumstances to improve before you get serious. Build the skills that make you valuable. Install the habits that create consistency. Cultivate the attitude that attracts opportunities. Together they form the invisible architecture of success, the kind that no one can take away from you. Because while jobs may come and go and challenges may rise and fall, skills, habits, and attitudes stay with you. They are your lifelong assets, and the stronger you make them, the brighter your future becomes. Character is the real wealth. You can accumulate money, possessions, titles, and recognition, but without character, all of it is fragile. True success is not measured simply by what you achieve, but by who you become in the process. Your skills may open doors, your habits may create consistency, and your attitude may attract opportunities, but it is your character that sustains everything. Without honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness, even the highest levels of success will eventually crumble. Character is what people say about you when you are not in the room. It's the invisible currency that determines whether people choose to trust you, follow you, and partner with you. Think of it this way. If someone is highly skilled but lacks integrity, would you truly want to build a future with them? Skills may impress, but character inspires confidence. People may hire you for your abilities, but they keep you for your character. Companies can train employees on technical skills, but character cannot be taught in a workshop. It must be cultivated through personal choices, discipline, and values. In a world where shortcuts often look appealing, where people are tempted to compromise values for quick rewards, character becomes the ultimate differentiator. Money gained without character is easily lost. Power attained without integrity becomes destructive. Success without character is hollow, because it cannot withstand the tests of time and adversity. But when you build strong character, your success becomes durable. It's like constructing a building on a solid foundation. Storms may come, challenges may strike, but the structure stands firm because it was built on something unshakable. Character is also freedom. When you live with honesty and integrity, you don't have to keep track of lies, cover your tracks, or live in fear of exposure. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your word is your bond, and your actions align with your values. That freedom brings peace of mind, and peace of mind is a form of wealth far greater than money. Consider the great leaders, mentors, and role models throughout history. What made them memorable was not just their accomplishments, but their character. People followed them because they trusted them. They inspired loyalty because their values were consistent. And when adversity came, it was their character that held them steady, not just their talents. Building character is a daily choice. It shows up in the small decisions you make when no one is watching. Do you keep promises even when it's inconvenient? Do you tell the truth even when a lie seems easier? Do you treat people with respect regardless of their position? Do you admit mistakes rather than hiding them? These choices seem small in the moment, but they add up. Over time, they form the core of who you are. And that core determines how high you can rise. The marketplace rewards character as much as it rewards skill. Employers promote people they trust. Customers stay loyal to companies that keep their word. Partners invest in leaders who demonstrate consistency. And friends, family, and communities thrive when built on honesty and respect. Character is not just about morality, it's practical. It creates opportunities, sustains relationships, and multiplies influence. At the end of the day, wealth is not just the money in your account. It is the reputation you carry, the respect you earn, and the peace you feel, knowing you live true to your values. Money can come and go, but character remains. And often when character is strong, money follows anyway, because people trust you with responsibility, opportunities, and resources. So remember this. Focus on becoming a person of integrity. Guard your character more carefully than your possessions. Because while your skills can get you into the room, it is your character that determines whether you stay there. And when you look back on your life, the greatest wealth will not be the things you own, but the person you became. Self-improvement attracts opportunities in ways that often feel almost magical. When you grow, the world seems to open up to you. But it isn't magic. It's the natural law of progress. Opportunities are drawn to people who are prepared, disciplined, and constantly improving themselves. The truth is, doors don't simply open for everyone. They open for those who have developed the capacity to walk through them and make something of what lies on the other side. Think of it like this. Life is constantly offering chances, new jobs, new relationships, new challenges, new projects. But not everyone sees them, and not everyone can seize them. Opportunities often pass right by people who haven't prepared themselves. Why? Because opportunities are rarely labeled as easy or perfect. They often arrive disguised as work, responsibility, or risk. And only the person who has been steadily improving, sharpening their skills, building their confidence, and strengthening their mindset recognizes them and has the courage to say yes. Improvement creates readiness. When you work on yourself, learning, growing, pushing beyond your comfort zone, you are quietly preparing for moments that may not even exist yet. The speech you give today may prepare you for the stage you'll stand on in 10 years. The book you read tonight may spark an idea that becomes a business 5 years from now. The habit of discipline you build this month may be the very reason you succeed when an unexpected challenge appears next year. Every step of growth equips you with tools, and when opportunity arrives, those tools suddenly make all the difference. This is why some people seem lucky. Luck is not random. It is the meeting of preparation and opportunity. The person who has been improving daily is in the right place with the right skills at the right time, and they are ready. The person who has been idle, hoping for things to change, will watch opportunities pass by, convinced that luck only favors others. The truth is, luck favors the prepared. Self-improvement also changes your perception. As you grow, you begin to see possibilities that others miss. A person stuck in negativity sees problems everywhere. A person dedicated to growth sees potential everywhere. Two people can walk into the same room. One sees obstacles, the other sees openings. The difference lies in their level of development. Improvement sharpens your vision, so opportunities become visible where they once seemed hidden. And perhaps most importantly, self-improvement makes you attractive. Not in the superficial sense, but in the sense that people are drawn to those who are growing. Think about it. Who do you want to work with? The person who is stagnant, or the person who is motivated, disciplined, and always improving? Employers, partners, mentors, and friends naturally gravitate toward those who radiate growth and potential. Your energy changes when you are improving yourself. You become more confident, more inspiring, and more capable, and that magnetism pulls opportunities toward you. But here's the key. Opportunities don't just come to test what you know. They come to test who you have become. If you've built resilience, opportunities that once seemed overwhelming now feel manageable. If you've cultivated patience and character, opportunities that require trust and responsibility now suit you perfectly. The opportunity is the reward for the person you've built yourself into. So never underestimate the power of small, consistent self-improvement. Every new skill you learn, every good habit you build, every positive thought you nurture is an investment. You may not see the return immediately, but when the right door appears, you'll be ready to walk through it. And those who have not prepared will stand back wondering why the chance passed them by. The law is simple. When you grow, your world grows. When you improve, opportunities improve. When you become more, life gives you more. That's why the greatest investment you can ever make is in yourself. Opportunities are not waiting for someone else. They are waiting for the best version of you to show up.